Leviticus chapter 2 verse 13 goes like this. Season all your grain offerings with salt. Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings. Add salt to all your offerings. Salt was an important part of the offering in ancient times. And you can understand adding salt to your vegetables and meat. But over here, it says even to your grain offering, add salt. That means in all your offerings, you add salt. Why did God command His people to add salt to all their offerings? I've heard Bible scholars say that salt speaks of, first of all, it speaks of purity. Purity. When we bring our offerings to God. Now, when I say offerings, I'm not talking about just the offering that we bring on Sunday. Our life itself is an offering to God. So we must lead pure lives. We mustn't do anything that is impure. We mustn't do anything with impure motives. Whatever we do should do it with pure love and pure motives. Salt speaks of purity. Secondly, salt speaks of preservation. They would add salt to their meat in those days, ancient times. There were no refrigerators, so they had to preserve meat. And meat is flesh, so meat would get bad, so they had to add salt. And salt also has healing properties. When you have a sore throat, doctor will tell you to gargle with salt water. When there's an infection somewhere, wash it with salt water, warm salt water. It also has healing. So it preserves. Now, on our own, we cannot preserve ourselves. Jesus preserves us. How Jesus preserves us? As we remain in Him through prayer and study of the scriptures, because there's so much happening around us. Sometimes we can get adulterated. Things from the word can creep into our lives and into our ministry or into our families. So as we remain in Him, as branches we remain in the vine, through prayer and study of the scriptures, Jesus preserves us. So whatever work we do, we should also do the work of preservation. Our work should endure. Thirdly, salt speaks of preciousness. Salt was expensive in those days. Nowadays it is cheap. We don't have to think twice before buying salt. But in those days it was expensive. And God had commanded them to add salt in all their offerings. That means they had to buy quite a lot of salt. And salt was expensive. So it costed them. It was expensive. So whatever offerings we bring to God should be precious. It should cost us something. We shouldn't give anything cheap. Or we shouldn't do anything mediocre as followers of Jesus. No matter what we do, whether we are teaching, whether we are preaching, whether we are homemakers, we could be doing business. Whatever you do, you could be a doctor, you could be a police personnel. Whatever you do, whatever service you do is service unto God. As the word says, whatever we do it as unto the Lord. It's our offering to God. So we should not do anything that is cheap or that is mediocre. But as followers of Christ, we should do everything in an excellent manner with purity of hearts. Purity. The work we do should be enduring, and also it should be precious. Jesus probably had this in mind when He said, "You are the salt of the earth." So next time you look at the salt in your kitchen or on your dining table, remember, you are the salt of the earth. So you keep adding, you keep seasoning your service with salt. Make it pure. Make it like a preservative. Make it precious. God bless you.